Hi, everybody. I just wanted to take a few minutes and talk about your assignment for Monday, March 23rd, and that is to complete the Analyzing Two Poems worksheet. Now, you might remember before we went home for spring break, you were working on this in class. So for Monday, March 23rd, I want you to finish what you started on in class. And if you changed your mind, you want to do different poems, or you just need to start over with your worksheet, you can totally do that. That's fine. So I want to kind of review a few things with you just to get you kind of back up to speed. So I'm going to pull up our Brightspace page right here. So here's our home page. Let's review the essay number 2, Poetry Analysis Essay Assignment. If you scroll down to the content browser and go to Essays, just like you did before, you can click on Essay 2, Poetry Analysis. Poetry analysis essay assignment, these are your directions. So if you click on that link, you will see the directions for this paper pop up on the screen. We went over these together in class before spring break, but just to review, you can see due dates, the revised due dates right here. Your rough draft is going to be due Wednesday, March 25th. That needs to be in Brightspace by 10:50. And then Monday, March 30th, that's when your final version is due, also in Brightspace by 10:50. In between March 25th and March 30th, you're going to be giving each other feedback on your rough drafts. You'll also be getting feedback from me on your rough draft. So all of that will still be the same as before. So again, in this essay assignment, remember you are comparing and contrasting how two poems listed on the syllabus originally for Friday, March 6th represent one theme. So remember, you have three options. Option number 1, compare how death is represented in Dickinson's I Felt a Funeral in My Brain and Frost's After Apple Picking. Your second option, compare how the United States is represented in McKay's America and Hoagland's America. And third option, compare how love and or sex is represented in Dunn's The Flea and St. Vincent Millay's I Being Born a Woman and Distressed. So I want you to read over this essay assignment just to refresh your memory about what it is. Then the next step, I'm going to go back to the table of contents on our home page. And if you go to Monday, March 23rd, you'll see I have posted the poems that you can be writing about for this poetry analysis essay, as well as for the worksheet that is going to be due Monday, March 23rd. The 2 poems about love are right here. 2 poems about America are on this link. And then the poems about death, Dickinson and Frost, are right here. So your Analyzing Two Poems worksheet, if you open that up, you will see a link. Here's the actual worksheet itself. When you open that in Word, this should look familiar to you. This is what we started working on in class before you went home for spring break. So if you remember, you were doing a couple things on this worksheet. And of course, this worksheet is to help you brainstorm and develop your ideas for the poetry analysis essay. The first thing that you were doing, you were coming up with answers to 2 homework questions. If you're writing about Dickinson and Frost, the 2 poems about death, you're doing those 2. If you're writing about the 2 poems about America, McKay and Hoagland, you're doing questions 3 and 4. If you're writing about Dunn's The Flea and St. Vincent Millay's I Being Born a Woman in Distress, the 2 poems about love, then you're answering questions 5 and 6. So you can write your answers right here to those questions. Your next step is to think about poetic devices. Remember, these are things relating to sound and pauses, things like alliteration, sibilant, slant rhyme, enjambment, etc. All that fun stuff, right? So what I want you to do here is find devices in the first poem, 3 of them, then in the second poem, 3 of them. When you find those devices, they can help you as you're developing your body paragraphs and analyzing quotes in your paper. The third step, now think about the poems in comparison to each other. How do they represent love or death or America in a similar way, and how do they represent it in a different way? After you've done that brainstorming, step 4 is to create a tentative thesis statement that identifies at least one similarity and at least one difference between how the 2 poems are representing that theme. Step 5, create an outline of your body paragraphs. Write the topic sentence and include at least one quote from the poems that you will include to support that point. You should have 3 to 4 body paragraphs. So you're organizing your paragraphs based on a similarity or difference. You might have 1 or 2 paragraphs on the similarity. You might have 1 or 2 paragraphs on the difference. Okay, I would say you probably need at least 3 body paragraphs. You might have 4, depending on how it works out for your particular paper. So this will give you a tentative thesis statement and a tentative outline for your body paragraphs. Now you have 2 ways of submitting that worksheet. If you've already done it by hand, you can just take a picture on your phone and then you can put it on Brightspace. You can just upload it that way. Or if you want to start over, you can just simply type your answers in that Word document, resave it to your computer, then submit that copy with your answers on it into Brightspace. Either way is fine. Whatever works for you, I'm good with. So that is the assignment for Monday, March 23rd. As always, if you have questions, if you're unsure about things, if you need more guidance, you can always reach out to me. I'll check my email all the time. So definitely let me know if you have any questions about that worksheet. Okay, thanks everybody.